Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5 a.m. Club. It's Monday morning. It's overcast, it's been raining, and it's the beginning of the work week. And like every morning, every day, I try and bring you a different aspect of this beautiful, most beautiful city of Sydney. I'm down here at Circular Quay on the opposite side of the international passenger terminal, and it's still dark. Still waiting for it to lighten up, but what I'd like to do is take you through a book summary, and today's book summary is entitled Big Magic by an author named Elizabeth Gilbert. So this book summary today is all about tapping into creativity and I guess unleashing your creative side by giving you permission to just go out and do what you want to do what you love doing, and not worrying about what other people think, and not being limited and held back by your inhibitions, your fear, your uncertainty, and your doubts. So the author kicks off the book with an observation where she says that each and every one of us have one shot at life. One shot at life, one chance to get things right, to get things done, and to express yourself fully, and to ensure that you leave your mark on the world. And the author implores us to not let fear be the driver, but rather a backseat passenger that is there to remind us of what we care for most in life. Because what the author is suggesting here is that fear is one of those things, and I say it to my granddaughter all the time, my youngest granddaughter Elizabeth, and I say, look, it's okay to be scared, it's okay to be fearful, because being fearful and being scared will protect you from dangers. But I also remind her that being fearful, if not managed correctly, will also steal your dreams by holding you back, by keeping you in your comfort zone, so much so that you never release, you never launch, and you stay in the same place for a number of years, and then you look back over your life and wonder why you didn't do what you should have done and missed out on all the opportunity when your peers, your friends, your family, others around you took the initiative and achieved a lot more in their lives and had a lot more fun along the way. So this book, as I mentioned before, is all about allowing yourself to release, to launch, to expand, to develop, and as the author here says, to give yourself permission to be creative, to create. And the way you do it is that you need to proclaim your passion with an I am statement. You know, I am a vlogger. I am an early bird. I am a doer, a creator. And each person has their own series of I ams. So it's up to you to declare your I ams, to embrace them, to grab them with your 10 fingers, 2 hands, and use your 2 arms to hug them tightly and bring them closely to your body so that you can be your I am. So the author encourages us to put ourselves out there. Put yourself out there and on record. And to understand that each of us have a different calling and a different number of call-ins. And we're all different. My calling is different to yours. It could be similar to yours in some ways, but certainly different to yours in a holistic sense. And we need to understand that we've all had and come from a different past. We are all experiencing and living a different present. I'm here, you're where you are. And we're all going to have a separate and different future. Regardless of whether or not we're identical twins, we do the same thing day in, day out, we're all going to have a different outcome, a different future, and a different life. Each person's life is different, is unique, and is beautiful in its own separate way. So the author encourages us to understand that, to embrace that, and to realize that your work isn't there just to serve your audience or others, but your work is there to express yourself. It's a liberating activity that gives you energy and peace. And we need to understand that being original and being authentic are two different things. So we're called to live our life, to express ourselves fully and freely without reservation, and to understand that some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it, and some people are not going to notice at all. Dare I say, the majority of people are not going to notice our contribution, nor be interested in what we do, how we do it, when we do it, but to understand that our calling is to express ourselves and to serve God and to serve each other as best we can, knowing that whatever we do may go unnoticed and may go unloved and unappreciated. So we're invited to lash out and just go for it, to have a crack, as a friend of mine, Amanda, who I worked with at Macquarie Park, once said, have a crack. That's all parents want of their children, to have a crack, have a go. And if it works, it's fine. If it doesn't work, it's just as fine. It doesn't make a difference. It's not going to change the world in a significant way. It's going to have an impact, no doubt, but it's not going to bring the world to an end if you don't fully achieve your dreams. So the author then goes on to talk about creativity and mention that creativity is born in the real world, and it's not born or generated by any institution. And as we said, and just another kind reminder and a gentle reminder, some will love our work, some will hate it. Doesn't matter. But one thing for sure and for certain is that we need to make time. We need to invite creativity into our lives. And depending on what work you do, you need an out. You need an outing. You can't continue to do your day job. You can't continue to work the way you work, because after a little amount of time, even the most fun work becomes boring. So what the author here is saying is that we need to keep on growing, developing, expanding, and bringing in new vibes of creativity, and pursuing our creative side, knowing very well that we need to employ and enjoy and leverage a balance in our lives. So we need to balance our lives with our day job, which pays the bills, and to then have hobbies, have other things that we do that bring us joy and allow us to express ourselves fully, so that we live an interesting life rather than just do the things just in order to bring the dollars through the door. The author also says something that I absolutely love, and I remember when I used to work at IBM, the catch cry there was, give it to somebody who is busy. If you want to get something done, you're better off giving it to somebody who's busy rather than somebody who has all the time in the world. Because the big lesson here is that sometimes you become more creative when you have less time available to you, because sometimes our creativity is an escape. I know myself, the busier I am, the less time I have available to me, the more creative I tend to be, because it's, as I said, an escape. And by creating the illusion of not having all the time in the world, you tend to include much more things in your life. And I know whenever I go to Greece, I always love staying for about 3 weeks, because I know that if I'm giving myself limited number of time, then I'll end up doing more. I won't sit back and say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it next week, or it can wait. I go, I see, I conquer, I go and see and visit as many places and as many people as I can in the shortest period of time, so that I don't get sick of them, and more importantly, they don't get sick of me. So understanding that you don't need all the time in the world to be creative, and sometimes time pressure is the best thing. I remember when I was at university, I'd leave things to the last minute, but once that last minute came, I had immense energy and immense creativity to get the job done. And hence the author says here, don't fear the fact that you're busy. Use that, leverage it, take it on board, embrace it, because it is the tonic that, I guess, stimulates creativity in our lives. So sometimes, as we said before, we need to have our day job. We need to have a job, some sort of employment to pay the bills. But it doesn't mean that that should limit us, because we can work over, under, around and through those limitations. And sometimes just being bored is a gift. I remember reading in a parent book that allowing your child or allowing people around you time to get bored is good in itself, because each person has a certain level of OCD which forces them to break that boredom, forces them to do things. And you're not going to be bored for too long, unless, of course, you're an extremely lazy person who suffers procrastination and wouldn't even work in an iron lung, so to speak. So there's no need, according to the author, to make yourself a martyr for your craft, and not to take yourself too seriously, but to do what you can when you can, and enjoy the process. So that's what this book, Big Magic, was all about, and I enjoyed delivering it today, this morning. And what I've noticed is that from this perspective, from this side of the harbour, the lighting, the colouring of those ferries, the shimmering off the water, the change in the light is just so magical, and is an apt location and an apt perspective to bring you a book summary entitled Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. So I'm off to work. It's the first day of the work week, so I look forward to kicking off work again, and for everybody to understand that my Jim's 5am club that I love so much, that I've committed so many hours to, I'm almost at 4 million words. When I take the number of vlogs that I've put together and approximate the number of minutes per vlog, I'm about 3.8 million words that I've been able to generate to be able to creatively document over the past year and a half. And it just brings me so much joy that I can still wake up in the morning half hour early every day just to come down here to go somewhere to showcase and highlight the beauty of this city of Sydney and overlay it with a message of empowerment where we can all hopefully learn from it. I'm definitely learning something from it every day, and I sincerely hope that you too can take some benefit from this, because learning, as we've said time and time again, is simply the art of attaching the unknown to the known. So the more we learn, the more we know, the more we're capable of learning and knowing, because what we're doing is we're drawing lines between all the unknown dots and putting things into perspective and understanding things a little bit better. But the knowledge on its own is a waste and is useless unless we apply it in a way that serves us and serves God. Anyway, as you can see, we've got the waltz, the dance of the ferries here on Sydney Harbour on this most beautiful morning, going to and fro, back and forward, and kicking off their day, just like I'm kicking off my day. So I wish you all a wonderful Monday, a wonderful start to the week, and I look forward, as I said, to come to you again with a different message of empowerment from a different place, where we get to journey together and be partners in each other's growth and development, even if it's just for a moment. It's beautiful, and it unites us, it brings us together, and it makes something more of our day. Yasas, take care, and until we chat again, bye for now.